Welcome back. I'm Carl Azus. You are on the home stretch between Thanksgiving and the Christmas break, and CNN Student News is back in session. It's hard to believe it could have been worse. 183 people dead in the Indian city of Mumbai, 300 wounded, all in a 60-hour wave of violence that began last Wednesday night. At least 11 suspected terrorists were killed. Only one was captured alive. And Indian authorities say he told them he was from Pakistan, so tension between India and Pakistan, neighboring countries, is high. We have two reports for you on this, one by John Lawrence, one by Matthew Chance, with details on what happened and stories of how people survived it.
Images from the large public funeral for Hemant Karkare, the head of Mumbai's anti-terrorism squad, gunned down by terrorists in the initial hours of the terror attacks on the city on Wednesday. Indian police are now optimistic the worst is behind them.
Yes, it's completely over, except for the fact that now we will start searching the hotel and sanitizing it against any explosives and various other things that may have been left behind.
But questions remain. Who was responsible for the groups of organized gunmen that apparently arrived via the coast and fanned out across the city, murdering scores of people, including several Americans? Some Indian officials have said some of the attackers came from Pakistan. The Pakistani government has pledged full cooperation in the investigation.
Pakistan is not involved in this ghastly act. And that is why we do not have to be on the defensive.
In Washington, words of praise for India's people from President Bush.
People of India are resilient. People of India are strong.
The FBI plans to assist Indian authorities in the investigation. I'm John Lawrence, reporting from Atlanta.
Nearly 4 days of terror, plunging India's financial capital into chaos. Survivors tell harrowing stories of escape. The two hotels at the centre of the attacks, favourites of India's elite and foreigners alike.
The bomb went off just outside my window, and after that, I started a bit panic a little bit. But when I came out through the lobby and you saw the blood all over the floor.
While I was on a conference call, I heard two large noises, and they sounded like thuds from within the room. And that's when we realized that there was something serious happening.
As groups of attackers stormed the hotels, then battled Indian security forces, survivors who couldn't make it out hid in their rooms, bolting doors, desperately hoping they'd be saved.
We barricaded ourselves in there, put a bed against it, would absorb any blasts coming out, and we just waited there for like 34 hours or something like that.
For some, rescue by India's security forces came too late, but many who did survive have praised the Indian army, who took more than 3 days to bring the longest-running siege in the Taj to an end.
We're grateful that we're out. We think that the Indian army were magnificent. We were in there for 36 hours in our room, but strangely we felt quite, it was pretty shocking every time a bomb or an explosion went off, but we kind of felt at peace.
But it is peace in a city that, after such an horrific ordeal, may never feel quite the same. Matthew Chance, CNN, Mumbai.
Time for some fast facts. Today is World AIDS Day. Since it was first marked in 1988, people and organizations around the world have worked to bring attention to the AIDS pandemic. AIDS, which stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, is a disease of the body's immune system. It's caused by the human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV. In 2007, more than 33 million people around the world were living with HIV/AIDS.
After 2 weeks and 4 spacewalks, Space Shuttle Endeavour is safely back on the ground, but not at its home in Florida's Kennedy Space Center. The weather there was rotten yesterday. So, controllers rerouted the spacecraft to Edwards Air Force Base in California. It'll take at least a week and $1.7 million to get the shuttle from there to Florida. Black Friday may not sound like fun. The day after Thanksgiving is called that because it's traditionally a major shopping day when retailers who were in the red or in debt move into the black, indicating profit. Even in this nasty economy, this year's Black Friday was better than expected, with sales 3% higher than last year's. Christine Romans tells us what to watch for as the shopping season starts to simmer.
Americans have so many reasons to be cautious this year, and retailers know it. They are under incredible stress and looking for your business. That means big discounts at the store, free shipping online, and as the season winds down, the discounting will only get bigger. And if you're one of the millions of Americans not struggling with credit card debt, job loss, or foreclosure, it is a buyer's market at the mall. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling says hunt for bargains but spread out your purchases. There will likely be more discounts ahead. Buy only what you need, avoid piling on new debt, and avoid gift cards. With so many retailers in financial trouble, they say you might get stuck trying to redeem them if companies file for bankruptcy. Besides, some gift cards have hidden fees, and according to Consumer Reports, a quarter are never redeemed. Now, falling home prices, falling stock prices, job loss, no doubt for many a spending spree at the mall is simply out of the question. That has retailers worried, and there's little doubt it will likely be the worst season for them in years. Bottom line, experts say the best deals could be the last few days before Christmas. It falls on a Thursday this year, meaning a long weekend of last-minute sales will stretch from the Friday before Christmas to Christmas Eve. Be patient. Don't expect good customer service. Experts say many retailers have cut back dramatically on hiring. Others are in bankruptcy or on the verge.
A word to the wise you won't like. Disciplinary action. What you can get when you don't play by the rules.
Okay, when you're on iTunes, you're probably looking for The Killers, Rihanna, 3 Days Grace, not Barry Manilow, The Platters, or Joni Mitchell. I don't blame you. Well, a young rock band in Colorado is recovering from some dissonant disciplinary action because they played their own music a little too loudly. In this report by Chris Vanderveen of affiliate KUSA, you too get to experience their punishment.
This is a way, I think, now that I look back, of teaching manners to people.
Why the teenage members of Revolving Reverends got into trouble recently
in the anguish, in the shame,
is pretty obvious.
Losing grips with reality.
We'll let them tell you the how it happened part.
What happened is that
it was my dad's birthday, and he asked us to play there.
We didn't keep track of time. We kept playing music.
And the cop station is like 2 blocks away.
So, yeah, that's that.
All right.
Judge Sacco says...
So this is very serious.
He had no other choice.
This is a punishment.
These people should have to listen to some music that they don't like.
From Barney to Barry.
Particularly Barry Manilow. I think it's hard on the kids.
And now you know I can't smile without you.
I actually like the Barry Manilow stuff.
Should you violate the noise ordinance in Fort Lupton, you will get 1 hour, one really, really long hour of this. Those who run the town say it's really cut down on the number of repeat offenders.
I want to choose my own music in my own house and not listen to my neighbor's music in my house.
It was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard, I was dancing with my darling.
As for the members of Revolving Reverends,
okay, that ends our class.
Who knows if they'll be back?
Yeah.
Of course.
All of us are going to still rock.
You'll just have to rock a little more quietly. Now, before we go, not everyone who plays basketball is tall. Think of Earl Boykins or Nate Robinson. Now, think of this.
A WNBA star.
That's what 5-year-old Milan wants to be. And when you've got game like this, I couldn't dribble like this at age 15. The WNBA doesn't seem out of reach. This promising point guard has been practicing for over a year, and she can hit a regulation swish from 8 feet away. Nothing but neat. We'll see you tomorrow.